Swipe my camera.
I swiped the camera. It's a joke.
He does good with electronics in here.
Oh,
No,
I'm sure
he
he
doesn't.
does. Oh, I'm sure he does.
Where's the little motor?
I'm very pleased because there was a series of performance art books
Yeah.
that were released starting with chapter 18. They're volume 38, and this month 2 volumes of chapter 48 are going to be out. And because they're from shows that are in Chicago, it's kind of cool that we got Chicago skyline.
Ah, yeah,
Working
Chicago.
9 to 5, so you
My
got
kind
Chicago
of town.
skyline. So anyway, so this is a collection book of things from performance art shows over the years, and so I've just pulled out one of them.
Yeah.
And I was going to share the poems with you. And drop them on.
You drop it.
That's all right. I'll pick it up as I leave. This is from a show that was called Chicago Calling. And what that was that Chicago poets would collaborate with people outside of Chicago to do something. Either they would have music accompaniment or a dance, or they would co-write things. And so those were the things that they did. And so this was a bunch of pieces that were done with musicians from all around the United States and South Africa, and so each one is different, and they don't relate at all.
Okay.
So here are some poems that were a part of that. This first one is called Tribal Scream. I know what goes on in your head. I know those characters you've created. I know everything that's gone on in your past, and I know this mishmash of everything that's crammed into your head. And I know a part of that is killing you. And I know you want to let it out. And I know you just want to open your mouth and let out a tribal, never-ending scream. Because I know you. I know you've got too much life in you. I know you've got a carbonated soul. And I know that one good scream would let you pop the top of you like a bottle of Coca-Cola. Bubbles of compressed air would be coming out of your mouth in your tribal scream. I wonder what characters you would spill out. I wonder what you would do when you would see what you rejected, what you screamed out. And I wonder if you'd see parts of your past. And I wonder if you'll know that they were all a part of you if you try to stuff them back in. This one is called The Power of the Devil. In November, a church held a pageant, and the ending was a battle between God and Satan. The church hired a stage actor to play Satan, and true to the actor's form, he used many special effects to make Satan appear more realistic. The actor used a voice shifter for a dark and evil voice, and also used his fire-breathing skills to make the devil more devilish. The dramatic show was too much for 2 congregation members because the 2 had heart attacks during the performance.
What?
One was in critical condition, and the other one died.
Real story?
True story.
They're the best. I like stories.
True story. This one is called We're Not Making Any More Appointments. I never thought that your mom was really sick. It never occurred to me that your mother was dying. I saw her getting more and more sick, but I didn't think that meant anything. Your dad was talking about your mom, taking your mom to the doctor, and he wanted someone to go with them. She needed help walking, getting to the office, so my wife went with them. They went to the doctor, and they checked out your mother, and they said, we're not making any more appointments. And that's when it hit me, that even the doctors know she was near the end.
Yeah.
And then we transfer to a totally different theme point called All My Problems Disappear.
Okay. You bet.
I don't understand. I try to think, yet whenever I look at you, I can't. Your voice sends a shiver down my spine. Each time I look into your deep brown eyes, my world turns into fantasy and all my problems disappear. Whenever you come into my mind, everything else is forgotten. A mere moment with you serves as an eternity. You have so many good qualities that couldn't justify to name only a few. Couldn't imagine a life led without you, for it makes a life dreary, a dreary monotony. The days would never end, and life would seem to serve no purpose. I don't understand. Why do I feel the way I do? Maybe I love you.
Yeah.
As I said, there are all different pieces throughout here. This is a weird, this is a Dreams poem. Dreams, 12/24/05. Aeon Flux Crawl. Does anybody know who Aeon Flux is? It's a cartoon character. Anime and it's crazy cool. Kick butt woman. I'll just leave it at that. No, not like the poet plays. Because I couldn't use appropriate language here. Okay. We were out of town, I don't know for how long, and someone told us that we could stay at this other really cool house for another night if we needed a place to stay. You see, the owners of the house were out of town for at least another day, so it would be okay if we stayed there. Now, I don't think we were actually allowed to stay there, so we had to keep all the lights off and keep quiet. And all I remember is being upstairs and everything was open, seeing these floor-to-ceiling windows and seeing people outside. We must have been the neighbors enjoying the night air and partying outside. So I was crawling around the hallway floor trying not to be seen. But as I was trying to be sly, I was crawling with my hands on the ground, but keeping the rest of my body in the air. You know, for ease of movement, I suppose. But I had to look like I was crawling around like Aeon Flux in that MTV movie that wasn't even true to the actual character storyline, crawling but not touching the carpet. And it was as if all the carpet were like millions of individual blades of grass. But all I know is that I was doing this levitating Aeon Flux crawling thing and trying to see around the house and not be seen. But I thought people were far enough away, and I thought it would be cool if we could use, and they said it was cool that we could use our house. We didn't break in, someone let us in. And I think I saw a jacuzzi in the backyard. So I went to tell you, so we can enjoy the hot water. But I found you on the master bedroom bed, sound asleep. Of course, I'm crawling around like Aeon Flux, and you're sleeping. This piece is called Taking Out the Brain. This is what I do in my spare time, if you're curious. I'm a med student, and for the past few weeks, we've been working on the cadaver. At first, I didn't want to know anything about him. I covered the head of the guy. I wanted to pay him some respect. Didn't want to think that this person lived before I dissected him. I had a hard time taking out the brain, because, you know, that's where the memories are. That's what makes him, him. It's not so hard now. They get the bodies from the morgue. They're homeless people, mostly. No family. It's not so hard now.
Right.
This one's called Tired of Life. Oftentimes I find that I'm tired of life. It has grown stale like old bread, grown dull like a used knife, and I don't know what to do. I'm rushing in my life, but I feel like I'm going nowhere. Like a car speeding down the highway that has no destination. How many nights have I stayed awake crying until I could no longer? The number must be countless. Those nights are only too familiar to me now. What's the sense? The pain I'm feeling never goes away. It haunts me like a childhood fear and never releases its hold on me. And whenever there seems to be a time where I have enough trouble, it's there. And it always finds its way back to me. The agony is indescribable. And I don't know what to do. Change of theme. It's a short one called How I Imagine You. Walking on the power lines like this, success posters. I've seen you like that before. I've thought that you were worth all of that and more. Is that silly of me? Do I dream too much? Do I imagine you as something better than what you are? Is that how I imagine you? I'm going to do two ones short at the end for you. This is the brochure. It's called After the Wreckage. And I could tell you with all the credits who did the music for one of these pieces, but I'm sure you don't need to know. After the Wreckage. I can't leave this funeral that never seems to end. I can't leave this funeral that, in a way, never started. And all I know is that I have been doing all of the mourning.
How are you doing?
Is that the way it goes? Is someone mourning for you for too long? And you, the deceased, didn't know anyone would care. And you, the deceased, didn't know they were dead. So, was it just me? Do I feel this alone? Does your spirit rise after the wreckage and you watch from above and see how everyone reacts and see how I cry and see how I suffer? Is this what you're doing to me? And now, after the funeral, do I have to clean up the room? Do I have to put away the flowers? And then I have to escort all of the people out because they don't deserve to be here? I should know by now. It's still me. It's only me, isn't it?
Mm.
Isn't that the way it goes?
Mm-hmm.
End with a short piece here for you called Waiting for You. I look out to the evening sky, snow falling out of the sky, starship flakes as big as fingertips, melting into my face, touching my skin, touching me sharp and sweet, like your hand on my cheek. In the cold of winter, it almost feels warm.
Okay.